no.
And what does he have against The Undertaker? Or what does The Undertaker have against Shane? Or is there any retaliation or anger towards Shane or
Well, The
vice
Undertaker's
versa?
just looking to whoop some tushy, and Shane happens to be in the way.
Yeah, but think back, like you said last week, you're talking about like backstories. Think how many times Vince has screwed over The Undertaker. Now all of a sudden he's coming back to do his dirty deeds, so to speak. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. We're stuck with these storylines, and we were talking about before the show how there's not a clear answer to any of these storylines. You have the women's title number one contendership. It went to a draw. Now they're going to let this go a length. I think tonight on SmackDown there's another number one contender match between the two, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. And then you have the New Day and the League of Nations. What's going on with them? AJ and Y2J were going against each other. Now all of a sudden they're best buddies and they're Y2AJ. It's like it just drastically changes with the snap of a finger. And as a WWE fan or a wrestling fan in general, you're just completely confused and you're kind of just scratching your head and you're like, what did I just watch for the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I have never been more confused going into a WrestleMania than I am right now. And the only clear storyline is Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. And I guess Triple H and Roman Reigns is a clear storyline. It's just something that we don't really care about.
Mm-hmm. I would have to agree on that.
But the women I want to see just one-on-one Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Give them 15 to 20 minutes at WrestleMania. Please.
I'll take it one step further. You could do an Iron Man or Iron Woman match with the two of them.
A half hour?
I could see a half hour.
45 minutes?
I'd say a half hour with the two of them. That would eat up time so you wouldn't have to put in these fluffer, let's put everybody in a Battle Royal matches. Why not do that and give the fans something they can actually watch and take away from, like, wow, this was a great pay-per-view.
See, and this is what confuses me, too. They have the girls' main event on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
What is going... Like, you don't have to put them at the main event of WrestleMania,
No.
but can you give them 20 to 15 minutes and don't put 30 divas in there?
You can even do a co-main event. We've seen it. UFC has a co-main event coming up this weekend with Conor McGregor, and then you have Holly Holm taking on using with her title. I mean, this is real life. This is MMA, but people are interested in women. Women are dominating sports, not just sports entertainment, but sports in general. Why not jump on this bandwagon and just run with it and see what can happen?
And we're all interested in these women in the Divas division.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the cheers Sasha Banks gets.
Yeah. Even
Charlotte, Becky Lynch.
Even Paige knows what she's doing in her ring. There's other guys that I've seen in a WWE ring, and I'm just scratching my head like, why are they on TV right now? Why? Why give R-Truth and Goldust these segments in the back for a good 5 minutes? Well, that's 5 minutes right there we could have seen in the ring with Becky Lynch or Sasha
Right.
Banks, or even have Paige. Even you have people, the girls in NXT that are making waves. You have Emma who was a total bust when she came up in the WWE with her goofy gimmick with Santino Morelli doing the whole doot doot doot, and then you send her back down to NXT. She gets before that she gets busted for robbing a store or something, and then she gets down to NXT, and now this girl can wrestle. You have numerous. You have Bayley, who's the champion, who can put on a show.
Bayley and Sasha Banks put on a freaking show at NXT Brooklyn, kind of one of the main events of that whole card, and then they come up here and they give them 2-minute squash jobs.
Mm-hmm. And you can have great matches for your Monday Night Raw as well. Even SmackDown. I mean, SmackDown started out with a bang when they said, oh, we're moving to USA Network. It's going to be huge. We're on Thursday nights now, back on USA. And then it's good for about 2-3 weeks, and now we're seeing matches like Big Show taking on Kevin Owens, or other matches with just ludicrous backstage segments. I don't even watch SmackDown 9 out of the 10 times because I'm just like, why waste my time?
But even some of those matches, they don't even give them time to develop. It's go out there, give us a quick 5-minute match, and like Miz versus Dolph Ziggler this week.
Yeah,
Miz beat Dolph Ziggler in a short amount of time. No like we're all perplexed on what's going on. But then you have the State of the Union on Monday Night Raw where Triple H or Stephanie has to come out for the first 15 minutes and talk your ear off.
And that's the problem. I think ever since they went to 3 hours, it's kind of they're running out of things to do, but they shouldn't.
They're really not. They really shouldn't be running out of things to do.
But I feel like they think that they're running out of things to do, but they feel they're cramming all these promos and all these backstage nonsense down our throats, and these wrestlers who they're trying to push, like Roman Reigns. And what it comes down to, a lot of people, they just want to see the basic promos and just wrestling. They want to see what can happen in the ring. Because if you watch NXT, you're seeing high-flying action. You're seeing guys just beating the living you-know-what out of each other. With Finn Balor, you have Samoa Joe. Now you have Austin Aries in there. These guys are actual wrestlers. They're not these guys how we call superstars. So there's my little rant right now.
Well, don't get me wrong. Triple H and Stephanie are great heels, and they could put great promos together. But do we have to start off each Raw with a promo? Can we start off with a match? How about you start off with a match you posted on social media about the women having Becky Lynch is going to fight Sasha Banks to start off Monday Night Raw. Boom!
There you go. There's your ratings right there.
Come on. Other things that, like you said, that are confusing. Okay, you had this segment between the New Day and the League of Nations that made no sense going into WWE Fastlane, thinking maybe there's going to be some clarity going into Raw, and there's nothing.
No, because then you had the whole Edge and Christian segment, which I get it. You're trying to push their new show, but then you have them come out and just they're throwing this crazy promo, which was just ludicrous, and then you have the League of Nations come out for Fastlane, and I just was scratching my head and saying, what am I watching right now?
Yeah, and then I thought maybe having Y2AJ fight together as a one-off, like a 1 week they're a team or a couple weeks they're a team and that's it. But are they really going to have these two tag team up and that's how they're going to utilize them? And we talked about this off air. I thought it was great. Thinking at first, I was like, man, this is a great idea having, AJ and Y2J be this like super team going into WrestleMania and maybe win the tag team titles. But are you ruining New Day? And why is AJ, who they, promoted coming in here, why is he in that kind of a match at his first WrestleMania and not being utilized as a singles wrestler?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And we've talked about it numerous times. I don't understand why they didn't just piggyback off of the whole Royal Rumble incident when Kevin Owens threw him out over the top rope and said, welcome to the WWE. And right then and there's your opening feud with one another. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. AJ Styles going after the Intercontinental Champion. It would have been pure genius because both of them put on a hell of a show. And the two of them in the ring at the same time, I would really like to see that at WrestleMania. I would just sit there and watch that match and that alone.
Well, yeah, either him fighting Kevin Owens, AJ, or Sami Zayn fighting Owens. I mean, what a pop that match would get, those two fighting WrestleMania. Kevin Owens gets one guy to fight, and that's it. Do not put him with 6 other participants in a match. You want to do that with Kalisto for the U.S. title? Fine, because that title is kind of irrelevant, and we're not getting anywhere with them. But putting someone so over as Kevin Owens in a singles match would, I think, be the best option at WrestleMania. And anything less than that would be very disappointing and underwhelming.
I agree with you 100%. With that rant, let's take a quick break.
Yeah, speaking of WrestleMania, we might have a new location for next year's WrestleMania, and it's somewhere they've been before.
We have one fan from the UCR network that follows us that is not too happy about it. We'll talk about it when we come back. You're listening to Ringside Rumble Radio here exclusively on the UCR network.
Do I love card night? You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
There's hundreds of fun and simple things you and your family can do to live a healthier lifestyle. Here's 20 of them. Eat less, eat slower, eat smarter, eat your fruits and veggies. Stop eating before you're full. Up your fiber, lower your calories, get off the bus early, do some gardening, do jumping jacks, take the stairs, take one, not two, take on a new sport, take a long walk home, walk instead of drive, bend, stretch, reach for the stars, climb the monkey bars, skip the fudge bars. Search We Can online to find more ways you and your family can get healthy together. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
Unified Championship Radio.
Did it again.
What?
Did it again.
What?
Almost blew our ease out. Almost blew our ease out. Can you believe that, sir?
Did you say something? I can't hear. I've been physically abused in my ear. Oh, man.
Hey, man. The road to this WrestleMania is very interesting.
Well, it stops at a roadblock.
Oh, nice. Stops at a roadblock. But people are already talking about next year's WrestleMania and the possible venue that it could be at, which is a familiar place. If you saw WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, Florida, the Citrus Bowl. Going back. I personally think they need to come up more northeast a little more often.
More northeast where?
Like in the New York area. They come here like every 10 years, but they go to the Citrus Bowl or they go to Florida, and they've been going to California for so long. I think now the options are getting limited because WrestleMania is now a stadium venue.
Yeah.
Always.
And I was thinking about that the other day when one of our fans wrote on our wall about bringing it up to, I believe he said Vancouver area.
Yeah, Eric Poyntz.
He wanted in Vancouver, and didn't he say also the UK?
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea. I mean, they come here all the time to go see WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Fans from all over the world come here. So I think it would actually, why not have it at Wembley Stadium?
I mean, I could see it, but I feel like Vince, he's a true American guy, so he likes bringing it over, having people come from all around and get all the jobs and extra income coming over. But the only thing I could think of personally, I was thinking about this the other day, is having it in Orlando. A, you have the warm weather. B, there's lots of sun. Have it outside. And C, it's almost turning now into Super Bowl weekend. If we did see it at MetLife Stadium a few years back, but now I feel like we have it at these warmer climates because almost like how the Super Bowl is. You had the Super Bowl 9 out of 10 times. You had that one year when it was at MetLife Stadium, which turned out to be what everybody said was a disaster with when the Broncos took on the Seahawks with the light rail and all that nonsense. But that's another show and another story. But why not? I feel that's what Vince is trying to do, is because they always said this is the Super Bowl of wrestling, WrestleMania. So why not get it bigger and bigger? So that's why they're having it in where the Cowboys play this year. But after a while, if you aren't giving the fans what they want and giving the fans the storylines you want, do you really think these big stadiums are going to sell out?
We'll find out.
We will have to find out.
We'll find out because this stadium in Dallas or in Arlington is probably the biggest they've been in.
But I could see it, though, in Canada, because you have a few Canadian wrestlers that are a big draw. You have, and you're getting more once Sami Zayn comes to the main card.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. Y2J still comes. He's a big performer. So, I mean, it's a big thing.